Now, we have had vegetable garden in the South for, say, 50 years.
Today I've been working.
And this is the first time we have ever been brave enough to prepare squash and pumpkin greens. Squash and pumpkin greens.
That's what they look like.
Are we going to die?
Maybe.
We might die. These pumpkins have little spiny things on the stems. I see Ginger trimmed down most of the stems, but there are probably a few little things in there. So I'll go out to the garden and show you
What kind of thing?
our pumpkins and squash, and then you'll see why we decided that we would eat the greens. By the way, thank you, my friend Mary Alice in Texas. She found out somehow, sent me a link to a video that showed in Africa people eat squash and pumpkin greens. So I'm trusting that if people in Africa can eat squash and pumpkin greens, it probably won't kill Rich and Ginger in Alabama. But we'll see. The pumpkins are volunteers that came up on their own, and we decided to just let them grow. We've had to cut them back a little bit today because they were going down the sidewalk. And the squash, we planted the squash, and we are doing really well. We're getting lots of squash. The squash and the pumpkins seem to be perfect friends. We've got some very interesting fruit on the vine that looks to me like an acorn or a blue Hubbard squash or something. There's pumpkins under here, I suppose. But anyway, since we had to trim the pumpkins, we decided that we'd try eating the pumpkin and squash greens, and we'll let you know how it turns out. Ginger says that it smells like spinach. Yep, it kind of does. Squash and pumpkin together. Smells like spinach. It's certainly green. It might not be completely ready yet. Ginger's going to cook these for probably hours. No. But I'm restless. They've been cooking, what, about a half an hour or so? They've been cooking a half an hour or so. I figure they're good enough for me to try. Ginger's laughing. Ginger's laughing. I started out with a very small little piece here. You will definitely want to cook these a long time because they have some rough pieces in here. The flavor is not like any kind of green I know. Ginger hasn't put any flavoring or anything in here. We've got salt and olive oil. Salt and olive oil. Yeah, if you put these in with all kind of stuff, I'm sure it'd be great. Ginger tells me I better quit eating it now. We better We'll wait a little while and see if there are any nasty effects that come up along with it eating this. I am not a fussy eater. As long as it comes out of my garden, I'll eat it as long as it's not hurting me. But this is not bad. It's got a very soft and mellow taste. It's not harsh at all. A little bit buttery. That might be the oil that she put in here.
Quit eating it.
Ginger tells me to quit eating it. We got a nice pile though. And these leaves came entirely from greens that I trimmed off the plants today because they were going too far. So, this may not be the world's best delicacy as it is prepared right here, but it's certainly good enough for me. And even with these stems here, you can see we've got some stems on here that look to have maybe some of those little spines that we saw. We'll see how I handle those. These greens are done. They are fine. I can eat those little stems as well. So, looks like we're going to have plenty of squash and pumpkin greens for the rest of the summer. Now, we are also growing sweet potatoes. So maybe we can eat some of those sweet potato vines because very soon sweet potatoes will completely be covering our garden. We'll have to check on that though. Thanks for watching the video. And thank you, Mary Alice, for suggesting this. We'll be eating a lot of these greens this summer.